look who I found today.
Why you in camis, bro?
Chaiwala. Chaiwala actual. Damn, boy, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. Why ain't you working? Oh,
working.
Hey, me and Mo don't work together anymore. I don't think I've told y'all that.
I work at the gym now.
Fitness stuff.
Fitness side, see that?
That's muscle Mo. Wait, who are you? Dr. Deborah Barber Chef, and I'm back at work, and we're in Mena's room. Wait, when we were at the border during the holidays, little kids send us little cards. So I'm gonna read you one that we got. Mena, make sure we make sure we both kind of equal in here. All right, Christmas cards. The Christmas stocking. This one says, "Thank you for serving our country." And thank you. You should never begin a sentence with an and. That's a conjunction. It should follow a comma. Thank you for helping lots and lots of people! Exclamation point. I have a joke for you. Oh, this better be good. What do you call nachos if they're not yours? Nach yo cheese. She put nach yo cheese. Nacho cheese, haha. Ha. 3 ha's. I like the joke. I get it.
She fucked it up.
Okay, that might not be funny, but at least I tried.
Hey, she knows it wasn't funny.
Hey, there's a lot of people that just try to sell things and they don't accept things. You're a real one. And then she put a colon right there. But at least I tried. Colon, Merry Christmas. Love, Valerie.
You're a good kid, Valerie.
Hey, we love you too, Valerie.
And shout out for not calling us a soldier.
Tell the story on the video.
Why not?
Hey, if y'all want to hear me tell stories, check out my podcast, Dr. Devil Barber Chef. Just Google that, it'll pop up.
Not movies, I mean like stories, like, you know?
Oh, like stories that haven't happened to me?
Yeah. Not those stories that happen to you that turn out just to be the plot of another movie.
Like actual stories.
Yeah.
So not like that one time I was a cop and then like my body got mangled and blown up and they had like put robot pieces on me.
Well, that was RoboCop.
No, bro, that happened to me back in 2012.
No, we didn't.
Back on the world ended?
Yeah. Later that year, the world ended. So listen, when I was growing up, I used to have to walk to school, right? I'm from North Carolina. I used to have to walk to school.
Oh, no, this is one of my favorite stories.
This is a good one.
Alright, so I used to have to walk to school. And I didn't live far from the school. I lived like maybe less than a mile away. So, but to get through the mile, I had to go through my mom's backyard, right, on the edge of the woods, and then turn and go down the hill, and that's where the school is at. So my parents left. They both left for work really early, like at 5, right, 5 in the morning. And at the time, my sister wasn't born. My brother and sister weren't born, so it was just me. So it was up to me to like get ready, get dressed, eat, and go to school. Well, I would never eat breakfast, but I would just get ready to go to school. But before I went to school, I would watch cartoons, right? And whatever cartoons would come on, and I remember back then it would be like Beyblade and Metabots, right? Metabots was hard as fuck. So picture Pokemon, and everybody has their Metabot and they make them fight each other. And then if you beat that one, so each robot is customized. The show's pretty cool. I'll probably go back and check it out. So each robot has like, oh, this is a gun type Pokemon, or not Pokemon, but like, you get it, robot. This is a water type robot. This is whatever, right? Electricity. And each one has like different weapon systems. So if you beat them, you get to keep one of their weapon systems, and so on and so on. So the story focuses on this one kid named Icky, and he's like broke, so he was able to save up enough money to buy a robot. But you need a robot, and then you gotta buy a medal, which is like pretty much like an SD card, and they'll give it like his personality and his fighting styles. So he finally was able to buy a little robot skeleton, but it was like the oldest one in the store, right? So everybody else had newer ones, but he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it anyway. And then he couldn't afford a metal, which is like the SD card. So he's just like sitting on the bank, right, on the river bank, and he's like chilling, right. And then he sees something shine in the river, and he gets it, and then he puts it in his robot. And at first it's not working. Then it turns out to work, and the robot's like pretty much like a sassy black dude. Like the dude don't listen to him. He's always talking shit to him. He has like his own personality. Then it turns out that metal, like somebody tried to steal it from this like prototype factory. And hold on, because the show is crazy. The show's, let me show you. You gotta explain. You have to understand. So the show is crazy. So like the metal was a prototype. It was the only one of its kind. It was super advanced. But when they were stealing it, it fell in the river. Icky found it, put it in his robot, and now his robot is like strong as fuck, hella attitude, right? That's Metabots. I would watch that at 7 to 7:30, and then at 7:30, I would go to school because school started at 8. So I remember like in this episode, it was crazy. Like Metabee had just unlocked some new power, and it was like to be continued. And then like it was like, yeah, it's about to start next. Like the next episode is coming up next. And I'm like, oh man, I need to watch this. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out and I'm gonna show up to school maybe 5 minutes late because I'm gonna watch the show. So I stayed, watched the whole show. It was crazy. And then it's like, yo, coming up next is this next show. I'm like, oh bro, that show's good too, man. I'm just gonna show up an hour late to school, watch these next couple shows, knock that out, and I'll go to school. So I stayed the whole show. I didn't go back to school the rest of the week after that. Because I'm like, man, it's 12 already? What am I going to school for? No, I'm just stay home. So I stayed home, and I remember the teacher would call the house. And back then it was like the phone where like you leave a message. And she's like, yo, this is Miss Ward. I was just wondering, make sure Emilio was all right. And I'm like, ooh, delete that. Delete it. So then my mom would come home like, hey, how was school? Everything's cool. And then all week, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all that I was skipping. And then like I'm eating cereal in the morning, and the phone rings, and I'm like, whatever, I don't think nothing of it. And like my parents never answer it, so it goes to the message, and the message is my teacher. She's like, yeah, I'm just checking on Emilio because he hasn't been to school all week. You know, y'all haven't called or let us know if he's gonna miss class. So I just want to make sure everything's all right. Bye. And so I'm like, because I didn't think she was gonna call on a Saturday. So both my parents, my stepdad and my mom, they're like, and I'm like. And they're like, what happened? What you been lying? You ain't been going to school, this and that. Why ain't you be going to school, right? And they're like confronting me, right? They're like drilling me. Like, why ain't you be going to school? And like, okay, I'm not gonna tell them, Mom, Metabots. I'm gonna tell them the whole story. Metabots is crazy, like the robot did metal. And so I did what any rational kid would do. I lied, and I said, Mom, I couldn't go to school because when I was walking to school, I saw a man in the woods with a gun. He was in the woods with a gun, and this was a black guy. I don't know. I was scared, and I didn't want to cross the woods. And they're like, all right. So they called the teachers, and they're like, yeah, we just found out he ain't been going to school. He says there was a man with a gun in the woods. And she's like, oh, for real? All right. So they sent like the sheriff or like the sheriff deputies, right? And from like my backyard, I could see them like scanning the woods. They're like walking through the woods with their flashlights. And I'm just like standing in my backyard knowing damn well I lied. I'm like, damn, but they really just out there
wasting these tax dollars.
Wasting everybody's time and tax dollars, man. They're just walking through the woods. And I'm like, damn, man. They know I lied. I know I lied. Nobody else knows I lied yet. So, you know, later they're like, yo, no, we didn't find anything, no evidence of nobody in the woods, so he can come back to school, you know, make sure he comes back to school on Monday. So Monday comes around, and they're like, yo, Emilio, why didn't you come to school for real? I'm like, all right, for real? And like, at sometimes I would stay after school in the YMCA program, and I was in 4th grade, and there was this 5th grader named Dakota. And Dakota, like, he's never talked to me or anything, but I've seen him, I talked to him one time, where I walked past him one time, and I was like, I did like this, and he looked at me like this, and like kind of like turned away. So in my head, I hated this dude, just cause of that, right? Because he just kind of like side-eyed me, and didn't acknowledge me. So they asked me, hey, Emilio, why don't you come to school? And I was like, some 5th grader said he was gonna beat my ass. He's like, what? Who? I was like, it was that nigga Dakota from 5th grade. And they're like, what? Dakota? This Dakota? I'm like, that's right. Yup, that's him. No, I can't see him saying that. He's such a sweet kid. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. He's on drugs or something. He said he's gonna beat me up. And I thought that was the end of it, right? I go on with my day, do my fourth grade work, and then like later they're like, yo, Alvarado, we need you to come to the office. I'm like, ugh, what is it now? So I fucking go to the office, and it's the principal, the PE teacher, and Dakota's teacher in there. And they're like, is this Dakota? The kid that you said was gonna whoop your ass? And I look at Dakota, and Dakota's like this. I never said that. He's like crying. He has tears in his eyes, bro. I looked at him, and I was like, what a little bitch. And then it turns out the PE teacher was his stepdad. I'm like, oh, bro, they work for the school, man. It ain't gonna work. He was like, so is this the kid that you said was gonna beat your ass? And he's like, this. What the truth? I was like, that's him. That's him, all right. And they're like, all right, go back to class. And that was the end of that. That was the story of when I skipped fourth grade for a whole week because I wanted to watch TV. That's how much I love TV. And that's why I need this YouTube channel to succeed, so I can just watch TV all the time. If you want to listen to more of my stories, check out my podcast, Dr. Devil Barbershop. I like to listen to it when I sleep, so I know I'm safe.